Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM, you're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I'm Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and I want to say, first of all, a huge congratulations to Grover on his win last night for Best Mascot in a podcast series.
You know, he ran a clean campaign. His competitor, on the other hand, did not. There was a lot of
there's a lot of sludge,
a lot of murkiness.
Yeah.
And so I'm just glad Grover pulled it through, and I'm anxious to see how he implements his agenda. I think he's got a good plan and.
Yeah,
some good things on the horizon.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see that as well. For those who don't know, Grove Street FM has a new mascot. His name is Grover the Otter.
Grover the Otter.
And if you listened last week, you heard me talk about Grover's podcast, and I'm going to start laughing. His Otter Nonsense podcast, and he's come out with a second episode now, which I'm pretty sure I recognize the caller of that episode. Am I correct in knowing that
we have callers all over the country. They sound familiar.
I don't.
Caller. I'll have to check the call log.
I'm gonna have to check. I feel like I recognized that caller.
Yeah.
But great show. A lot of otter nonsense.
Well, it lives up to the name.
It does.
It's
like 10 seconds of your life that you will be just. You just sit there and you just look at it.
It's,
go, what did I just
polarizing. You either love it or let's say you'll either listen to one episode or I'm
in it for the long haul, man. I'm ready for the next one. I can't wait. I keep updating Grove Street just so I can see it.
That's it. I'm telling you.
See if it's posted.
Grover's got some good things. He's got some books in the work. He's got some other stuff. So look, Grover's going places.
He's a busy otter.
He's busy. He's all over the place.
And I like your new sign out front where it says
"Thank you,
quiet podcast in process." Because a lot of times I just come busting up in here laughing and talking, and the poor police department in front of me trying to do their cop talk. I'm surprised they don't arrest me and be like, "Can you just stop talking, and disturbing the peace?"
Well,
the podcast.
Secretly, the reason that sign came about was one, I just wanted Grover on a sign.
Oh, well, okay.
And the new assistant out front recommended, hey, it'd be nice to have a recording in progress sign.
Your new assistant
killing it.
So amazing.
Killing it out
I'm
there.
just gonna say, Casey does a wonderful job. In case she's listening in, Casey, can't wait for you to be back. But the new assistant is also, she's doing a great job out there.
Great job.
Yeah, I mean, you should keep her around for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. It's trial period. We'll see if she, she hangs in there.
Okay. All right. Well, so for everyone, there's a lot going on this month. It's November, of course. We've got Veterans Day coming up this Friday, and want to make sure that our veterans are being taken care of and are being recognized. So don't take the day off because it's a holiday. Because you know what, it's not really your holiday. It's for veterans, and we're going to talk a little bit about that with our guests that we have here today, and also Thanksgiving. I know again people are putting up their Christmas trees now. Brandon, again, our host of the Cool Talk podcast, he's probably got like 8 trees up in his house already.
Oh, he was Halloween night. He was probably
right.
Lights.
So
he's been counting it down since last Christmas.
Yeah, do what you do. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, go for it. But let's not forget about Thanksgiving and being thankful for everyone that you have in your life, and being thankful for this podcast. Woody, I'm thankful for you doing all the good things.
You can be really thankful for when the update arrives. So
the update for the podcast?
No,
for my
my you don't have to say it, but when it does, you can. Yeah,
I'm gonna be so thankful.
You just wait.
Mm-hmm.
You just wait.
Okay, we'll see.
Yep,
we'll see. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Well,
I am joined today with Tracy Ellett. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Okay, great. And she is a realtor with Keller Williams, and we were talking a little bit before the show about some things, and she's got a lot of information that she's going to be sharing with us today. And I just want to say welcome.
Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you for having me. And congratulations to Grover on his.
Yes, Grover.
Thank you. I'll relay that. Yes.
You know what? I almost brought you. I have real quick, and this is so off topic, but I wish it wasn't an otter. I wish it was a gopher. And I only say this because I have a dancing Caddyshack gopher. And I so wanted to bring that to you and just put it in the middle of this table and
Well, I
let it
mean, they're
dance
like
for
in.
us.
I think they're probably cousins. I'm sure they're
Okay.
related somehow.
Well, it's at my house, and I really don't need it, so I may just bring it over here and let you have it, so him and Grover can hang out.
Yes.
He should have a friend that's
He can have a
gopher.
friend. He has, yes. Well, he's got a bunch of friends that'll be making an appearance soon. So, but enough about Grover.
Okay, sorry. Enough about Grover. This podcast is not about Grover. That's otter nonsense.
That's
Let's
all
tune in.
nonsense.
So anyway, back to Tracy. So let's so tell us a little bit about you were talking about some things with the market, and we're going to talk a little bit about some good news and bad news, and or maybe not bad news, maybe good news.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I work for Keller Williams. I'm an agent in Keller Williams, and there's a lot. My mom called me this week and to tell me about the real estate market. She's 86 and lives in West Virginia, but wanted to tell me that no one's going to open houses anymore because she watches all the news. And, the news is bad out there about the home values, home prices. And the good news about the Lynchburg area is that we have a more gentle slope. Mm-hmm. We are not an area that necessarily is subject to the same highs that the national housing market gets, where we're getting 50 offers for everything, or the same lows that folks get where home values go down to, really record levels. So that's good news for buyers and sellers, is that we have a more gentle slope here in Virginia, and particularly Central Virginia. That's good news for buyers. Everybody is wondering about interest rates. They're around 7%. That's higher than what we're used to, higher than what we would like. However, on the average in the last 20 years, this is the average. When I bought my first home in 1998, it was 8.1%. Oh. And I managed it, didn't think about it because that was the norm. We're moving more into those averages right now. And because of that, the market is cooling a bit, but there's still some really good news for both buyers and sellers in this market. Many folks who might be listening might remember 6 months ago, 9 months ago, if you're in the buyer's market, there were lots and lots of offers. One of the huge things that has come out in the last few weeks, and this is from the Lynchburg Association of Realtors third quarter report, they give us some great data looking at everything in the area, is that in 2022 so far, there have been 737 price reductions. So guess how many price reductions there were in 2021?
I'm going to go with less than that.
One. A lot less. There was one single price reduction in 2021 in that market. Things were very, very hot. Folks will remember that. So the fact that there are 737 price reductions to date in 2022 is good news for buyers. That means you have more negotiating power. Right. It means sellers are realizing that, okay, if it's on the market for a little while, then it's time to reduce.
Well, and I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but like in 2021, though, you were also seeing a lot of sellers getting for way over asking price. Yes. And that I see is something that's not happening any longer. So that's probably a good thing as well, because buyers aren't having to fight others for, going over that asking price.
We're beginning to see some changes in that market. There's more negotiating power. So it's buyers can have one thing or the other typically. You can either get a reduction in purchase price, or you might be able to negotiate some closing costs, which can be really handy in buying down your rate if you're a first-time home buyer or if you're just moving. And so you can get some closing costs toward that. And so we're still seeing that good homes, well-maintained, will sell quickly. So don't take these as, I'm going to make a $50,000 less ask. You have to pay attention to the market, the home, how many days on market, which is another thing that I wanted to share with you, is that in 2021, days on market in October were 17. That means 17 days. That's it. So you have rush. You have to make a decision, or buyers felt that pressure. Make a decision, make it quickly, because it's not going to be there tomorrow. Right. In 2022, for October, the days on market was 27. So that's 10 days, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that is 30% more time. And if you're that buyer that's like, gosh, I like this house, I need to move, I don't know. If you just need a little extra time to consider all of the information, this is good news for you. You're going to have a little more time, possibly, and depending on the home, in order to make up your mind and make the best decision for you financially and for your lifestyle as well. So that's good news for buyers. Home inspections are back. 6-9 months ago, it was very difficult in a competitive offer situation for buyers to win a deal and have a home inspection. Many did not. There was a lot of pressure around that. So nowadays, it's becoming much more commonplace for people to do a thorough home inspection, to know what they're buying, to ask questions, to thoroughly consider their purchase, which in many cases is the largest purchase that they're going to make and their first attempt at building wealth. Buying homes, investing in homes is about stabilizing your housing budget and building wealth. The good news for sellers, this is a good transition for that, is that guess what, sellers? Your equity has gone up. In fact, in the Lynchburg area, Bedford County, for example, it's been a 16% price jump in the median home sales from last year, this time to this year.
Yeah, I know. My daughter bought a home back. I think she's been there now for 2 or 3 years, and she paid around something in the 80s for it. And she just went and looked, and it appraised now for like almost 160,000. Like it had gone up a lot. Now they had done some upgrades, of course, to the home since they bought it, but yeah, that's a pretty significant increase.
And across the board in the Lynchburg area, Campbell County, a record 22% growth in median price over last year. Lynchburg, not far behind at 18%. And let's not leave out Amherst at 9% increases, and at Appomattox County at 16%. So that's more equity that you have in your home for you to make decisions. If you're thinking about, I need to move up, I need a better home, well, you've got that equity, and now you've got the negotiating power on the buying side. So it might be the right time for you. I would say, let's talk and work out the numbers and see if this is a good time for you. Or maybe it's time to do an investment property. If you've got that kind of equity sitting in your home, you may be a little less anxious to invest in the stock market these days. So maybe you take that home equity. In fact, my husband and I are looking at some opportunities right now to use a HELOC, use the equity in our home, and maybe buy an investment property. That's a decision that you can make. And there may be more, and those prices are going down. So you take the best of the good news for the buyers and leverage what you have as a seller, and you can make some other decisions for what you might like to do in the family. So the bottom line is there is good news in the housing market. You just have to learn how to look at the numbers, make good decisions, and work with an agent that's going to listen to you about what your financial goals are and how you can achieve them. Is this the right time? Is 3 months the right time? Whatever that is. But, we'll be there to be your advocate as you are making these kinds of investment decisions.
I think that's really good to know, because I think a lot of people listen to like the doom and gloom of what's happening, and they don't really sit down and talk with somebody who knows their stuff. They're looking on the internet, and let's be honest, everyone, the internet does not always tell the truth. Okay. That's not the go-to. Like if you're just going on the internet and reading, different articles and stuff, you're not getting the actual, knowledge you need to go out and make an informed decision. So you want to talk to someone in the field, such as Tracy, who knows. And obviously you've done you've got your research, what's happening. So it's while it may not be the optimal time, like maybe you missed that I was sitting there thinking that, oh, we should have refinanced when we had the chance. That's okay. There's still options, and potentially we may see it go back down. Those interest rates go back down in a few years or so. I think is what the forecast, I think, is for that.
Yes, and lenders are beginning to come out with products that are geared toward that. So if now is the time you need to make a move, maybe you're having the second baby, maybe you are ready to move from the starter house to the next house, maybe you're ready to downsize. Lenders have products out there that are available. Shop around. There's a very popular product called the 2-1 buy down, where you can buy the rate down for 2 years, and you pay a fee up front. You might be able to negotiate that in your closing costs, and you buy the rate down for 2 points the first year and 1 point the second year. Okay. You can negotiate fees. Since it's Veterans Day, many of the lenders are running specials this month that are geared toward veterans. So veterans have more leverage in this market than they did last year. When things were so hyper competitive, folks may not have looked at a VA loan quite as competitively because they may take a little longer to to close. They may have some higher inspection requirements than other loans. It's a level playing field right now, and particularly when there are lenders like Caleb Zhang with Atlantic Coast Mortgage. They're giving $1,000 bonuses toward the purchase of the home, in addition to other incentives. Kevin Filiberto with Movement Mortgage, the Looper team, they are also doing things where they are waiving fees and providing rebates. So it pays for you to shop around and see if there are deals out there that you can capitalize on. And VA loans are zero down loans, so you don't have to have a big payment there. As long as you qualify, you can go into those homes without a down payment, and they may have a more favorable rate than some of the other loan products.
See, and that's good to know, and it's also good to make sure you're working with a mortgage, person ahead of time. And I've had, we actually had someone on here last week from Movement Mortgage, and we were talking about the differences between pre-qualification and pre-approval and all of those things. So there's a lot to look into, but don't do it on your own. Definitely reach out to someone else, and to Tracy, or to a mortgage rep that you feel comfortable with, and talk to them about your options, because there's so many out there that may work for you. And I know that we were talking a little bit beforehand, and I thought I'd touch on this because you were talking about home inspections being back, and I wanted to kind of also say, I think a lot of people in the past year you were talking about the the houses coming on the market and the time, that was passing in between people, purchasing them. And a lot of people, I think, were even purchasing some homes sight unseen. Like, they were just looking on there like, I just need a house, and I just need to, I'm going to put a bid in. And we're probably foregoing that home inspection. Heck, they didn't even see the inside of the home. So I'm not really sure how comfortable I would have been with that in the beginning. But Virginia is what is called, is it a buyer's beware state?
In Virginia, we are subject to the Virginia Residential Property Disclosure Act. And so what that means is buyers and sellers agree that these are the terms that sellers are going to disclose. So sellers do not have the burden to disclose certain things. They do have the burden to disclose material defects, things that are not working, but is actually the buyer's responsibility, i.e. buyer beware, to look at things like the condition of the home, which is why home inspections are important, lot lines, historical ordinances, defective drywalls, flood zones, radon, all of these, and anything else that is of concern to them. It's their responsibility to do the due diligence. When we were in the rush, a year ago or 6 months ago, I need a house. And so people weren't thinking thoughtfully. They weren't necessarily looking at the lot lines closely to see whether the well was on their line or not on their line, or, whether that shed, the lot line went, across the shed, or, who owned what. Now you do have a little bit more time to thoughtfully consider and ask those questions. And even from a buyer's agent point of view, seller's agents could be very the more questions you asked, the more it felt like you weren't going to be considered if you put in an offer. And now it's much more a level playing field of, we're going to ask the questions, we're going to put it all out on the table, and find out if this is the right decision for my buyers. And they have the time to consider those things.
I think that's important. I know this is kind of what we were discussing. I have a friend of mine that moved here from out of state a little over a year ago, and when they moved here, they didn't actually come look at the house first and foremost. And so when they got here, I kind of look at that movie, the old movie, The Money Pit, we were talking about with Tom Hanks.
Which is a great movie. It holds up. If you haven't seen it, that's your home buying assignment. Watch Tom Hanks and Shelley Long in Money Pit. I think it's still on Netflix, maybe.
It may be. I don't know. My even my 10-year-old, she's like an 80s movie buff. I get her to watch all the 80s. She likes that movie too. But, their stairs weren't falling down and all that great stuff. But there were a lot of issues that they didn't know about ahead of time, and they've had to put more money into the home now that they've been in it, So I love the fact that when I was going and looking at your Facebook page, that you have those things on there, because I think it's important for buyers to know what they are responsible for. I think a lot of them think they just walk on in, and then if something's wrong, they can then go back to the seller, but that's not the case in Virginia. So
it is not the case.
I think it's important they know that.
Yes, you have to work with an agent that you're comfortable with is going to advocate and educate you on the process. If you haven't checked out my Facebook, Tracy Ellett Real Estate Realtor, look at my business page. Lots of educational resources there. I want to be your advocate, even if you're not my client, that you're educated in the process, and on Instagram the same way. We can all do, it's great to say these are all the homes that I've sold, and I have done very well, but it's more important to me to be able to, for you to make an informed decision on buying your home or selling your home, and consider these kind of finer points that sometimes can get lost when you're looking at a home and fall in that love with the home. And I see that a lot with my first time home buyers who get enamored with a historic property and aren't thinking necessarily about the electrical system and the pipes that are in the walls that are hidden that the home inspector may or may not be able to see. So those are the things that to consider when educate yourself as you are moving into the home buying market or selling market.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be as scary as people think it is.
No.
I just want to, I keep joking, I'm going to just bulldoze my home down, just build another one right where I like my property, just don't like my home. So I'm going to like get one and like rebuild. But like, I think right now is still not the time with that. Contractors are still like way booked up for stuff like
it's, wood costs have gone down. So home construction, new construction's, leveling a little bit. But yes, contractors and build. But, accessory dwellings are all of the rage. So you could get yourself a little tiny home.
I know, right? A little tiny home.
Check with your local building board, your local residential property with your county or city, and make sure that that's okay. But accessory dwellings sometimes can be approved.
So Veterans Day is coming up, and I know also you had, you were talking about the different loans and things for veterans.
Yes.
But Veterans Day is Friday, and you had put up a list on your Facebook page. I think you have it on your Instagram as well.
Yes.
Just some different things for veterans, incentives and discounts and all that great stuff.
Yes, veterans deserve to be celebrated more than one day a year. I think we would all agree with that, but make the most of the Veterans Day deals that are out there. So there's a comprehensive list on my Instagram, Tracy Ellett Realtor, that talks about people that will honor veterans discounts year round, as well as on Friday for meals, for coffee, for your home construction, home needs. Lowe's will give a military discount 10% year round as well. And then even local, Simply Vanilla. We all love Simply Vanilla in Forest, and also at the mall. They give a 10% discount to veterans and spouses throughout the year, which is a wonderful way to realize that your service is seen and appreciated. So check out those things on Tracy Ellett Realtor on Instagram, and also on Facebook on my Facebook page. Reach out to me if you have any home buying questions. I'm always happy to answer anything any question that comes up, whether you're thinking about buying or selling now, or just have some questions.
And I was going to ask you, now, do you work, what market? Are you just like Lynchburg area? Do you cover into Roanoke, the lake? And just kind of let our listeners know kind of where you
I like to specialize in the Lynchburg area. I really do feel like it's realtors were local, and I want to be the top of my market, the most informed in my area. So the Lynchburg market is Lynchburg, Bedford, Appomattox, Amherst, and Madison Heights, Campbell County. So those are kind of my specialties. I can always give referrals to great agents in other areas in Roanoke. I just want to make sure that if I'm taking you on as a client, I'm going to be the expert you need in the deal, and I can't be everything to everyone. So
well, you know what? I actually love that. I love the fact that you were like, I can refer you to someone else in a different market. And I think of a lot of people that they try and take on, like, I can do it all, like and instead of sharing the love. So
yes.
So tell one more time, let everyone know how they can reach you, or is it your Facebook website information?
I have it all. I have Instagram, Facebook. Those are really great places for you to go to get resources if you're thinking about buying and selling and educate yourself. You can certainly reach me by my website, which is Tracy Ellett, TracySells245 .com. And my phone number is 434-444-2063. I'm a Zillow agent. You can find me on Zillow, and I'm also a Realtor.com agent. So if you've got that house that popped up that night, you're like, oh, I want to see that house. You don't necessarily have to go with a random agent that they assign you. You can find me on Zillow or on Realtor.com, and I can be your gal and be your expert and advocate and show you the house.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And if you're up at 1 a.m, like Woody is, booking Disney trips, apparently.
Yep.
And you see that house, contact Tracy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Heather.
So, I'm sorry. I had to put that little dig in there, Woody, because you know me.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
That's fine.
So, so we have been joined in the studio now with Susan Martin with the Bauer Center of the Arts, and I have had Susan on multiple times before, and the reason I love having her on is because the Bauer Center has so many great things going on, and right now at the end of the year with the holidays, I know you guys have a lot of things coming up. So, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I guess let's start with what is happening. I know you guys have the Makers Market coming up.
Yes. We have quite a few things. November's kind of our full month to end out the season. Got some holiday opportunities. We're representing Bedford County Public Schools, elementary schools, in an art show. So various different things. The Mistletoe Makers Market is one of our annual events. It's going to be held on Small Business Saturday on November the 26th from 10 to 3. Right now we have 23 vendors signed up that will be participating, and it's just an opportunity to come out and do some holiday shopping with local artisans, local vendors, arts, crafts. Everything is handmade, handcrafted, and it just gives you an opportunity to support local small business. We're also collaborating with the other businesses in our community, our retail, restaurant. We signed up for a small business neighborhood program. So we've got small business kits to give out, and we're going to encourage everybody that attends our Mistletoe Makers Market to also shop local.
Right. And if they need to catch the train, they can do that as well. No, like I always like when the train comes through, it never fails. It comes through like it's usually right around this time. But this was a short train. So now I know you guys are doing something too kind of special for the Mistletoe Market, which I think is just a fabulous idea. So tell everyone about the
Sure. So new this year, we are doing drop and shop. So if you have youth that you want to drop off to do arts and crafts activities at the Bauer Center, and you can take the opportunity to shop our market and go out into town and do additional shopping. You can drop them off between the hours of our event from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're charging $5 an hour up to 4 hours, and then you can do all 5 hours for a $20 flat fee. That includes they're going to be doing pottery and clay, making jewelry and ornaments. They're going to be doing cookie decorating. There's a wide variety of activities for them. So depending on whether they're there an hour or the entire time, they'll get to pick and choose what they want to do. And then if they come the whole time, we just encourage to send a bag lunch because we'll take some time. We'll have some free snacks and drinks for them. But if they want to have something to eat, if they're going to stay the whole time, we encourage them to bring a bag lunch. But that'll all be supplied. And the staff, our education outreach coordinator and her educators will be coordinating that. So it'll be kind of like a mini summer camp day at the Bauer Center.
Well, Riley will probably be there. I'm already looking at the great thing about that though is that I think she would enjoy doing that even if it weren't just like a drop and shop. Like,
right.
The things you're offering for the kids, like I think she would just be like happy to go and be like, oh, I'm just like you were saying, a mini type summer camp thing.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I love the
Even if you're not planning on doing shopping and they just want to come for the day, you're home, it's Thanksgiving break, maybe they're tired of hanging out at the house, maybe they have some family or friends with them, and they want to come and just spend the day doing some fun activities. They'll get to create some gifts of their own to take home and give to their family members. So I think it'll just be a fun opportunity.
Now with the Mistletoe Makers Market, and it's kind of in the name, but most or all of your vendors are makers. They're artisans. It's not
right.
people that are just coming in and sell, like your Mary Kay's and stuff
Exactly. Yes. It has to be handmade, handcrafted, or repurposed. So
Okay.
if they've used something in the creation of whatever it is they're selling, that's fine. But it has to have been handcrafted or handmade in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, perfect. Well, I love Small Business Saturday. I mean, of course, our mission with the Central Virginia Business Coalition is to shop local and support local throughout the year entirely. But I love the fact that Small Business Saturday really gives us the opportunity to hone in on that. I know well, if I can ever get my staff better, my whole staff has the flu right now. Like every one of them, they're all down. Like it's just me. I'm like the Lone Ranger in the office. But we are supposed to be opening up our office, and then as part of our office, we have started a local store called All Things Local. That will be, as part of that, we've got about 10 artisan and crafters that will have items in that year round for sale. So we were hoping to kick that off Small Business Saturday, so then we could kind of come in with all the downtown businesses and really encourage the shopping. So my fingers are crossed that that's going to even happen now with us being out for the last week. But it really brings focus to our downtown businesses, whether it's here in Bedford or Lynchburg or, all over the, area. So make sure, I tell people, we know you can't 100% shop local. There are things my daughter wants that I had to get from Target and, different places. But if you can just do 40-50% of that, it really adds up and comes back into your economy. So I love the fact that you guys host this market on Small Business Saturday. And bring back to those. And then people get to come and see what the Bauer Center is all about too.
Absolutely.
It's a great, if you haven't been to the Bauer Center here in Bedford, you are missing out. You need to come and check it out. Have they started the arts show for the elementary schools yet?
So the first of 2 Bedford County Public Schools elementary art shows is going to be the week of November 15th. Okay. So it'll run the 15th through the 19th. And they will, because there's so many elementary schools, they have to split it up. So the first art show will be 6 schools will be represented. There'll be Big Island, Goodview, New London, Forest, Montvale, and Stewartsville. Okay. And there'll be more than 150 pieces of artwork to view from that the kids have created from those schools. You'll have the opportunity to view it during our normal hours of operation, 11 to 3, Monday through Saturday. But on Friday evening, November the 18th, the school will host a special open house reception from 5 to 7 that's open to the community to come in and see the work as well.
Is that, and then the next group comes in?
The second group will be in February, the first full week of February.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And then that'll be the other schools that weren't represented at this one.
I guess it would take some time to move 100 some pieces of artwork around and
right. And
put that up.
Yeah, and space constraints to some extent to be able to represent all of the elementary schools at one time can prove a little difficult.
Well, I think that's so fun. I know a few years ago, my daughter had something up and she was just so proud of it. And I think it's a great way. I've talked about this before about how I feel like in schools, sometimes the arts are kind of a dying, you've got all the different, your STEM and then it's like, okay, you get a day of art, you get a day of music, you get a day of this. Well, when I was in school, it was like every day you went to each one and it wasn't just once a week. And my daughter's more artistic than anything. She would much rather do art. And so when she got to have she was so proud to have us come look at that and, take a picture with it. And she loves going to the Bauer Center and doing the scavenger hunts and things you guys have there. So I love having this in our area.
It's one of our favorite weeks because we have grandparents, aunts, uncles, parents that come through during that week to see the artwork. Some of them will travel from out of town just to come and see their grandchild's art hanging, in a gallery in an art space. We'll do a scavenger hunt during the elementary art show as well, so the kids can come in and have fun searching out different things, different aspects to the different pieces of art. But and we do that with all of our exhibits, so it's always something different and something new every time you come in.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now you also have a concert coming up soon.
Yes, we are wrapping up our annual concert series with our new standard bluegrass concert. That's on November the 19th. And tickets are $15 in advance and $20 at the door. But I encourage, if you're thinking of coming, to buy in advance because we host New Standard every year, and every year it's a sellout crowd. Tickets are going quickly now. They are just they are so much fun. It's made up of young men from around the region that perform together. They have been performing for many years. They play traditional, contemporary, and gospel. And it's just a really fun show because they're very entertaining. They're interactive with the audience. It's really one of our favorite shows as well. So even if you don't know much about bluegrass, it's really worth the time to come.
I've started listening. We had a bluegrass winner for our Battle of the Bands this year, and it was really I loved it. I didn't realize I was going to like it as much as I did, but it really, it's a unique sound. And once you kind of get into it,
right. I mean, and it's,
keeps you
it's
going.
not far off from country, and you'll recognize they'll play some songs, but they'll also play originals that they have written. And I guarantee that you'll recognize some of the music, especially the more traditional artists that they cover.
And that's November 19th. What time?
The concert's from 6 to 8.
Okay.
Typically it runs a little over to 8:30ish because the folks love it so much, and they'll play a few encores, and doors will open at 5:30.
Okay. Very cool. So what else do you guys? I know I could sit here and I could just let you go because I know there's so many things.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity. In addition to the Makers Market, we also do an holiday gift shop during the season called Winter Gifts. That'll also open on November 15th, the same time as the Elementary Art Show. That'll run up until December 23rd, and that is made up again of items that have been handmade or handcrafted by local artisans and crafters. All of the pieces, it's a fundraiser for the Bauer Center. The artisans donate 50% of the proceeds, so everything that sells, 50% of the proceeds will stay with the Bauer Center to support our overall operations. We have gotten a lot of wonderful items that we'll be working on putting in the shop this weekend that include pottery and jewelry, hand-knitted scarves, leather goods, holiday ornaments, photography, needlepoint. I mean, it's a great wide variety of one-of-a-kind items if you're looking for that something special to give somebody in your family that's not going to be something that they're going to see anywhere else.
Okay. And you can come and purchase that, you said, throughout the month?
Yes, that'll start November 15th and run through December 23rd, and it'll be open every day during our normal hours of operation as well. And it'll be open during the Mistletoe Makers Market also.
I know that I have in the past couple of years tried to give more like handmade stuff, and I find that my family enjoys that much more than just me going and getting them a gift certificate or, just something that I think they really just feel like I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't really take the time.
And in
It's
addition,
like, oh, here, go to Target.
in addition, for both the holiday winter gifts gift shop and Mistletoe Makers Market, we're setting up a free gift wrapping station too. So all all of the things that you purchase with us can be gift wrapped.
That's what I need. My family will tell you I'm horrible at gift wrapping. I use all the tape. I tape the boxes wrong. Apparently you can tape the boxes wrong. Like they can't get into it as easy. So I'm the worst, but I do enjoy it. But getting someone else to do it always, that's why I like to go to Western Ways because Western Ways, they always wrap it and it's so pretty and it looks good.
I was just in there not too long ago and they inspired me. I was like, we're going to do gift wrap.
Yes. So, we've talked a little bit about some of the things you have coming up, but we've alluded to it, but what is the Bauer Center? And I think, you're talking about how they give, part of that holiday gift stores to give back. Like, what are they giving back to? And I think that's important for the community to know as well.
Right. So the Bauer Center for the Arts is a community arts center. We want to provide everybody the opportunity to have access and exposure to the visual and performing arts. So we do that through programs which include classes and educational opportunities for youth and adults. We do outreach. We work with area schools. We're currently working with the World Community Education Center, which is a local Montessori school. We go out and do outreach programs at events and festivals and things like that. We also are a gallery space, so we have exhibits throughout the year. We do up to 10 to 12 different exhibits throughout the year. Our gallery admission is always free. It's an opportunity to come in. We do national exhibits. We have 3 coming up next year. One of them's a fiber arts exhibit, so it's one of my favorites. We do it every other year, and fiber arts is really unique in that it is more than just quilting, and so we get some really amazing works of art that come in from across the country. So you see not only works from local regional artists, but works that come in from everywhere, which is kind of neat. There's no place like that here in our community. And for such a small community, we're very fortunate to have our own arts and cultural center. We are a nonprofit, so everything we do is raising funds. A portion of the proceeds, whether it's an entry into an exhibit or attending a class or purchasing through our events, coming to our activities, that all goes back into supporting our overall operations. It also, we have a special scholarship program for youth. So everything that we offer as far as youth classes, summer camps, we want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. So we have scholarship opportunities to participate in any of those activities. We just want to make sure that the arts are accessible to everyone.
Yeah. So they basically do it all, folks. I can't. It's
a little bit of everything. It is a lot.
It's a little bit of everything.
It is really hard. We really are challenged when you're trying to do your elevator speech to tell what we do. Just saying, making arts accessible to all. It is nice, but we want to make sure that there's something there for everyone. We also are home to 10 studio artists who have studios there, so you can come in and see them working on their pieces. Their artwork is always available for purchase as well on display. We have a beautiful center that's available for rent. So if you are having a family or corporate holiday get-together or event and you're looking for a space that's beautifully decorated already with the art on the walls, you can come in and host your gathering there. We just recently this weekend had a wedding shower. We've done baby showers. We've had small weddings. We've had corporate events and functions. I had a family last year that rented it for Thanksgiving dinner because they had a family of like 50 coming in and didn't want to do it in their home. So they
that's
held
smart.
Yes. So there's a kitchen there that is functional and can be used, and your rental includes all your tables and chairs, and we have some decorative items that are available for centerpieces. The only additional cost is if you use our linens for the cleaning, but we try to be very affordable, and we have a lot of nonprofits too that will have events and want to have an indoor space to host that, and we can handle, you can do 100 seated in our largest space. You could do about 150 if it's more kind of cocktail standing. And then we have a smaller space that'll do up to 50. So you have 2 different options for sizes and space and cost and everything.
I just think it's important, like you said, because there are so many different types of art, and you guys have opportunities to kind of really showcase all of it, and it changes every month, so it's not ever the same. Like if you go to the Bauer Center in October, it's going to be different in November.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be just different in February. So you can't just it's not one of those places like, oh, been there, done that,
right?
Because it's always changing, and I think that's one of the things that I love about going in there is it's always something different. Now, I have a question. Y'all do the different art shows, and some of them I see, they say they're juried.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
So a juried show means that when the artist enters their artwork, it's not necessarily going to be in the exhibit.
Okay.
We have a juror that actually reviews all of the artwork that's entered and then selects the pieces to actually be entered into the show. So that's juried. And then they can also be judged, which means once they're in the show, they're also judged. And we have awards for best in show, second, third, honorable mention. And those shows have monetary awards associated with them as well. So some of our shows are juried and judged, and some of them are just judged. So if it's just judged, it means that whatever you enter will be in the show, and it will be judged during the show as well. And then some of them are just open entry. Our first exhibit of the year every year is what's called our Curry Bauer National Exhibition. It's in honor of our major supporter, Dr. John Bauer, and his wife. And it's open to anybody. It's actually got both a youth and an adult entry opportunity. So youth, I think it's ages 13 to 18, and then adults 18 and plus. So there's 2 different entry opportunities. and you can enter anything, any medium. So it can be sculpture, it could be photography, it could be painting, it could be mosaics, it could be fiber arts, it could be whatever. And whatever you enter will be accepted into the exhibit because it's not juried, it's just judged. So the exhibit is then judged, and we have awards for both the best in show, first, second, third for the youth division and also for the adult division. So it's a lot of fun because you get to see a lot of varying works of art. Also, it's open, so it's nationally entered. So we get entries from across the country and local and regional as well.
I'll never live down the time I forgot to turn my daughter's mask in. Y'all did that competition with the mask, and I so dropped the ball. She worked so hard on that mask, and I left it sitting on the fireplace at our house, and I missed the cutoff, and I will never live it down. She still has it sitting in her room on her dresser.
Well,
like,
that's great.
It's probably just a memento of here's what mom didn't do for me this year. I could have won. I could have gone big, but no. I think like for her, because she's only 10, so she's not ready to kind of get into the shows. But I love that it gives kids the opportunity to, with the shows you do through the elementary school and then the different classes and stuff you do throughout the year. Do y'all also do, and I feel like I'm just hopping all over the place, but there's so many things I'm thinking of. Do y'all still do a show, like a Christmas show, or does Little Town Players do a Christmas show at y'all's space? I know sometimes the Bauer Center has done one.
We have. Unfortunately, this year we're not going to be hosting a Christmas show ourselves. We do have Leanne Ashley Dance Studio in December that's going to be hosting their holiday dance show. And I apologize, the dates aren't coming to me. I think it's the second weekend in December.
Okay.
And they are actually going to do a Friday afternoon evening show and a Saturday afternoon evening show and a Sunday matinee, and you will purchase your tickets through them.
Okay.
But it is open to the community, so you can come out and see, what their students have been working on, and it'll be a holiday dance show that is going to be hosted at the Bauer Center.
And I highly encourage you to go out and see that if you want to watch the ballet arts, because my daughter used to dance with Leanne Ashley, and they always put on a fabulous show.
They really do.
They do. It's a great show.
It's extreme. They're extremely talented. Now, I spoke too soon. We have a youth theater art program going on right now, and they are going to be doing a show. Again, I didn't even think about that.
Sorry, I threw a fast one.
You're great. Let me pull my calendar up real quick. It's going to be on December 17th. And I don't have the date exactly yet. It'll be on our website. But they're going to be doing, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. It's the Christmas, Dr. Seuss, the Seussical.
Yeah. So, okay, that's what I thought I saw.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, yes, so that is going to be taking place in December, and that'll be a matinee show as well. And that'll be performed by the youth students that are currently in our theater arts group.
And that just goes to kind of show you guys like what Susan was talking about with being able to rent space. Like, the different places are able to host their holiday events at the Bauer Center. So it does offer businesses the opportunity to showcase themselves. And if they don't really have the space in their own studios, they can go and use the Bauer Center.
And, we're open to we've had some businesses come in and host trainings and workshops and things like that there. It's a great location if we have businesses that have Roanoke and Lynchburg staff, and so they want to do something centrally located. And we have great, obviously, restaurant opportunities locally that do catering, so it's pretty simple to utilize our space. And if you're having a luncheon or something, bring it in from somebody local.
It's funny because I was talking about we're scheduling our 2023 coffee talks for next year, and I was telling someone that we normally don't like to do like back-to-back businesses the same year because we want people to go to different businesses. I was like, except for we are going back to the Bauer Center. Because it's great and I love to have the space here in Bedford, but B, because we had a tornado last year.
We did.
And I really think we didn't have as many people as we normally would have.
I appreciate that.
I kept getting people calling like, I would come, but there's a tornado going through my area and I can't get through. And, it was funny because I hadn't even watched the news that morning and I was heading out, and Autumn, my event director called and she's like, I'm going to be late. And I was like, why? Like, why are you going to be late? And she's like, because there's a tornado. I'm in my basement. And I was like, okay, well, that's good.
I was the same thing. And then I pulled up to pick up the coffee at Joe Bean's and they were closed because of tornado. And I was like, what?
And they were, that's right, because y'all were making the coffee in
we
house.
were.
Sorry. So we will be back at the Bauer Center.
Thank
I
you.
believe
We
we're doing
appreciate
April.
that.
I think so. We're going to try and stay away from the tornadoes.
Awesome.
But yeah, so great space. Again, I'm, if you've never been to the Bauer Center, highly encourage you to come out and check them out. What's the address for those who maybe have not been out this
So
way?
we're known as the Big Pink Building on the corner on 305 North Bridge Street. We're pretty recognizable if you're just driving through town. And for all of our activities and events and to register, you can visit bowercenter.org. And then obviously we're on all social media under Bauer Center as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming
Appreciate
in
it.
today. And again, I'm just gonna, for the, the next couple minutes, I just want to, and you guys free to jump in with me. I just want to talk in about, Small Business Saturday. I know we've touched on it quite a bit throughout the day today, but really want to focus on the importance of that. I think throughout 2020, 2021, you would think with a lot of the shutdowns we had that you would have seen a lot of small businesses going out of business during that time. But in reality, we're now seeing more of them shut down in 2022 going into 2023 because that support, some of the government support, some of the things that they were seeing is now gone away. And now they're really seeing the repercussions of not having people coming in their stores or not shopping locally, and prices are going up and things like that. So it's more important now than ever to shop at your favorite local store. If you don't want to see them go out of business, I see, businesses that say, well, we're closing. And then you get like this massive amount of people that are like, oh no, I wish you had, well, how many of you had shopped there in the last, couple of months? Like it's always okay after the fact to go, I should have. But right now I'm telling you can, like, go out, shop local. Even if it's local, gift certificates can happen. You can get gift certificates locally. You can go to events like the Mistletoe Market or other, there's lots of different festivals that are around this season where you can shop locally. I think what is the one always the 19th at the middle school? The
arts and crafts show.
The arts and crafts show at the middle school. That's one of my favorites.
It is a good one.
At the 19th. I think the Bedford Chamber is doing their Christmas market at CVCC on the 19th. So lots of opportunities in our area. There's things going on. I know there's there's some in Lynchburg that are happening pretty soon. So shop at your local businesses because it's very important, and it's giving back into your economy. I see a lot of people talking about infrastructure and roads and all this stuff. Well, you got to have the money coming back in to make those much needed repairs and stuff in our area. So I'm on my high horse today. Like, that's what I'm going to talk about because it's just it's important, and it really hurts my heart when I see businesses or business owners that I truly love and support having to make the difficult decision to shut down. I mean, we've had a local one here in Bedford that just recently had to shut down that I was just like, it's a pretty big hit, I think, to downtown Bedford. And you just don't want to keep seeing things like that happen. So,
well, I think that people don't understand that when those businesses shut down, even for organizations like the Bauer Center, that's a huge hit because that doesn't bring people downtown.
Right.
So they're not walking around if there's no opportunities for retail and restaurants. It just doesn't bring that audience downtown to walk around. But like you mentioned, everybody is struggling. Everybody thinks, oh, COVID's over and everybody's back in business.
Yep.
Actually, everybody's hit harder this year than they were the previous year. And that goes for small business and nonprofits across the board. We've experienced the same thing. We had that support of that, rescue funding and, CARES Act money and things like that to help support small businesses and nonprofits. That's gone away, but the audiences and the shoppers haven't returned. We all got kind of in that habit of staying home, and everybody's changed the ways that they're doing things, shopping online. They're getting their entertainment sometimes now online, or, there's so many opportunities through the internet and your television and all that streaming opportunity that you're getting your entertainment in different ways as well. So it's impacting everybody, because the folks just aren't going out and doing their shopping locally, or they're not taking part in what entertainment is offered in their community. Because I know you talked about Little Town Players. I know that they're seeing an impact on folks coming out. We've seen reduced this year for our concerts, live performances, and classes. because individuals are have found other ways to get that entertainment, and they hadn't gotten back to to what they were doing before COVID.
Yep.
We get to have a chance to see each other again, and we have to take advantage of that and get back into those habits of going out at night and sitting next to someone and enjoying something together as a community. And, I do think with some small business owners, and prices have gone up across every category we can think of. And I know my husband and I, we made the commitment this year, the prices at a retailer, a big box store right now are just about the same as a local artisan, as a local. So I can go to the community market and feel like I'm not necessarily spending more money there than I would be if I was going somewhere else. So there is an equalizer of, okay, that if the price is the same, I want to support the local person, the person who has a family in my school, the person who's a business owner paying taxes that is going into our community, and the face that we're going to see, on the sidewalk, hopefully.
Right. And I will say this week, too, if you're looking to get some holiday shopping done, downtown Bedford, they're doing Arthur's Jewelry, Rapid Printing, and a little bit of everything are doing their ladies' night Thursday, I believe, Thursday night from 5 to 7 in downtown Bedford. And it gives you an opportunity to come and shop at all 3 locations. They usually have some refreshments out that that you can look at, and
ladies get to make a list.
Yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yes, I love making my list.
Make your wish list. Yes,
send your husband.
I've never gotten anything from my list.
I know. Yes, then make them go and read the list.
You're gonna have to go talk to them about that. But so yeah, you can hit that up. And if you're out there listening in your local business, and you between now and Christmas, you want me to kind of highlight an event you have coming up, you can go to grovestreet.fm and pull up our show, Talk Local to Me, and there's a section that says if you want to be on the show, you can enter your information. And by all means, if you want to be on the show, please do. But you can also send a message through that just says, hey, would you mind highlighting an event we have coming up? And we'll be glad to do that as part of the show to get the information out for this holiday season. Just go again to grovestreet.fm and fill out that application on Talk Local to Me. So until next Wednesday, make sure that you have liked, subscribed, all the good things, right, Woody?
That's right.
That's right.
All the above
on grovestreet.fm. And we will talk local to you again next week.